Yes, now.
So then coming back around to the is this real question. I've been approached by reality shows before, and I'm not a aspiring actor or an actress or things like that. I think, and I watch these shows, so I think that some of the people who are on these shows are like aspiring models and actresses and things. And so from the outside looking in, it looks like, well, you are a part of this show because you want to be on television and you want to have a thing. But it kind of sounds like that is the case because they came to the NBA dance team because those are not the types, but typically you're you have the big personality. You would be interested in an opportunity like this, being on TV, being outgoing. So do you think, and this you could just answer from you, like, did you really go on TV thinking that you were going to find love is part one of the question. But the other part is, do you think any of it is like people really are looking for love and they can really find it in this way?
That's a really good question. So my experience, yes, I thought I was going to the show to find love. I mean, from what was, proposed to me and what was told to me, I assumed that everybody's here to find love. Everybody's here for the right reasons. I'm not saying people were not, but everybody had their own motive. And I felt like everybody's motive was to find love.
Okay.
And that was mine for sure. Now, I do understand where with the whole people are already in entertainment, but I feel like my cast was not.
A little different.
Our cast was totally different. Like we had a scientist. That's total left field. Right. We also had an engineer, we had people who did content creators and et cetera. But I was an NBA dancer. And I feel like people just had offered so many different fields of backgrounds that I think that everybody was able to relate. Like, for instance, the scientist or, the engineer, everybody offered something different. People work for big companies. So it wasn't that it was necessarily about the acting. And I feel like me being on TV and in front of the camera, it like made me feel like, wow, I really like this. Maybe I should try to pursue it because it literally fell in my lap. I wasn't out there that effort.
Looking for it,
No, it just literally just fell in my lap. And I was just like, okay, now I got this opportunity. What should I do with it?
Now you have a platform. You got to use it.
So I want to now branch out into acting now. So that's funny you said that. And I just honestly just told myself that, like, I need to branch out and do more in acting, et cetera. So I'm excited to do it.
So during the casting process, how deep did they get into, because Married at First Sight is on right now, y'all, and I'm locked in, okay? So for Married at First Sight, for those of y'all who don't know, it's like experts that match you with someone based off this extensive like interview process, this whole thing where they really get to the nitty-gritty of who you are, what you want, who they think you would be a good match with. How deep did they go with Love is Blind? Like, did they ask you, obviously they asked your preferences and things, but how deep did they go in like doing their due diligence and finding out who you were?
Girl, the process was extremely long. Like, at one point, I was like, I'm not going. I literally said that, because we were just, every so often, like, we'll get an interview with one of the producers, then we do a Skype interview, and then next week we had another interview, and then, they narrowed it down to the top 20 girls, and another interview. It was just interview after interview after interview after interview, to the point that I was just like, okay, I'm not getting picked. And I told one of my producers that I was just like, I think I'm just gonna just cancel. I'm not gonna do this anymore. She's like, no, you're in the top 10. Like, we're going to make a decision, but you just have one more interview we have to do. I'm like, oh my God, we got one more interview. I am not doing this no more. But no, they definitely, like, seriously, like, we had numerous of interviews. It wasn't just a one-time audition, one-time interview. No, we had to meet with a lot of people, and they all was asked some of the same questions, but switch it up. But majority, they were trying to get to know us and make sure this would be the right fit for us.
So did they do, like, background checks?
Yes.
Okay.
They did.
Okay.
I know, right? I questioned it too. I said, did they really submit it? But
yeah. Okay. I was wondering because, so obviously, if Love is Blind, right? You're in these pods. You can't see the people. You can only hear their voices. You're basically falling in love with just their personality.
Yes.
So what was that part like? Like, how long were you actually having these conversations? How long did you get to spend? Because you all kind of like speed dated,
fast,
almost
right?
like you rotated to different pods, right?
We did.
So talk about the actual like day-to-day of it.
Yeah,
How long was the process?
Yeah, I've never dated 15 guys in one day. Let's just put that out there. I dated 15 guys in one day, and every day we got the opportunity to keep meeting and having dates. But the first day, I feel like it was like 15 minutes the first day, and then eventually once you start making connections, because they gave us a list that we can write down who is our top 5.
Okay.
Every time. And every time you get to, every day, if you have that same person top 5 and vice versa, then you have a longer date with that person.
Ah,
So that's how we start weaving out, okay, this person's for me, this is not. And then that's how they start. Now you're only seeing us with that one person.
Gotcha.
But it was a long time. I wish they would have showed more of the pod scenes, because there was a time that I remember dancing with a guy. Like our date literally was through the wall, but we was doing salsa.
How long were you, like y'all were living somewhere for?
Yes.
How long? Like how long was the process?
Ooh, it was a very long time. I felt like it definitely was like 4 weeks, but then, you know, afterwards you have the engagement and you have Mexico, which is the pre-getaway honeymoon, and then you have to meet the family, and then you have the wedding. So I feel like a total of maybe 8 weeks.
If you made it to the end.
Yes.
So were all the girls staying together and the guys were staying together? So y'all got to meet the girls, but you just, okay.
So yeah, we got to meet the girls. Our living headquarters was a girls' room, and the guys stay on their side. So that's how, when I think it was a moment that you actually see in Mexico, that now the girls see each other. Now you get to see the guy that you actually was kind of interested in, but you didn't pick that person. Yeah, and that was very cringy to watch, because now you're like, damn, he actually fine. You know?
Right, at that part. Did you see anybody and you were like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I made a bad choice.
There was moments that girls felt like, wow, he is fine. Now I wish I would have chose him. Yeah. Or vice versa. I'm pretty sure the guys felt that way too. Like, damn, she hot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, you got what you got. So
you got what you, so to that point, entering this experience or experiment, you have to be open-minded.
You do.
You have to be open-minded. There could literally be anybody on the other side of that wall. Did you have any
doubts?
Not doubts.
Okay.
Was there anything that was like a non-negotiable for you? Could there be? Because you don't know until you see the person.
And I was very nervous about that. And I know I try to tell myself, like, okay, Diamond, you can't think about what's on the outside. I mean, I'm the person who's saying I don't want nobody to do that to me. So it's only right to give that person the same, you know. So I was definitely, you know, I was very nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was extremely nervous to see what was gonna come out of the wall. Because I'm like, this is just too perfect. You know, he says all the right things. He does, you know, he says this, he do that. And it's just like, why do I have to come on a show to find my husband? Like, this is crazy. Like, this cannot be real, you know? And so I think I wasn't trying to judge anyone. That's my thing. I was like, I'm not going to, if he comes out like total opposite of what I wanted or what I usually look for, I'm still going to give him an opportunity, a chance.
And, you know, I believe you because your situation did not end the way you expected it to end. You had a very public breakup, right?
Yeah.
But I think you handled it very well.
Thank you.
Honestly. And we're not going to, you know, go into the details. We're not going to go into the details, but just I truly think that as a black woman, baby,
it takes a lot.
Being blindsided in any way, being blindsided on camera.
Yes. Millions of people
being
watching.
blindsided, being embarrassed, being all of the things that I'm sure you felt live with like an audience.
I did.
And for you to handle it the way that you did, I just want to commend you for that because you see the people cutting up on reality TV. Like, it don't take much for somebody to throw a glass
I mean,
for no
still
reason.
did it.
Right? Okay. But you were provoked. You started out.
Yeah, I tried.
You started out very well, but you were definitely provoked, and I think that you handled it well. But there were other couples in your season that got an unexpected surprise, like my girl Lauren, right?
Yes.
Who they're still together.
Yes,
Lauren and
they
Cameron.
are.
Lauren and Cameron still together. Lauren, so Lauren ended up falling in love with a white man, right? Black woman fell in love with a white man. And when she talked about how her father was like this pro-black, you know, like black power, and how she was really struggling because she's also very black power, but now she done fell in love with this white man. That was like a very real moment. And so I think that it's those type of scenarios and those conversations that shows like this bring up that really can be valuable. It's not just all entertainment. So if you could, I'm sure you took some lessons away from this experience. What are some of the lessons that you personally, you know, were able to take away?
Oh, wow. I'll definitely say I feel like I'm now a stronger person. I did not know that I was that strong as well as vulnerable, because I was in tears. I think you saw the scene. I was like bawling my eyes out. I think it made me a stronger person now, because
what brought that out of you? The tears.
The tears?
Yeah.
It was just hurt. I felt hurt. I felt embarrassed. I felt like I wasn't given the full opportunity as most of my castmates. I felt like I was blindsided. I just felt it was so many emotions that was running through me that I was just like, they all was just coming together, and I just didn't know how to handle it. I was just like, wow, like, and then, I'm in shock.
Yeah. And then it wasn't an appropriate response to your, it was like adding fuel to the fire instead of trying to water you down and calm you down.
Yeah.
Did you ever blame the producers?
No. At one point I was like, I felt like once the show came out, people was like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that to you and this and this and this. But then I was like, no, it wasn't their fault. I know what you're thinking, but I feel like I do think they knew, and for what I was told, that they can't make people do things,
disclose information,
or even do things that they don't want to do, but they can encourage. And I was told that it was a lot of encouraging.
Oh, okay, got you. But, to come clean, and he didn't want to be honest. Okay, got you. All right. Well, so that was I posted this on my Instagram. Obviously, wanted to get the people's opinions and find out what they wanted to know from you. And a couple people mentioned, well, the producers had to know, and that was something that I had never considered. So I just wanted to ask you, like,
I think they did.
Okay,
they knew. They definitely knew. But like I said, that they. With any show, you can't make, and then with any information, you just can't make people until they're ready.
Right.
And they want it to be authentic. They want it to be like, okay, this is what I chose to do. This is real reality TV. We're supposed to be real. This is real feelings. So,
do you think they asked him though? That's why I was asking you, like, how deep did they go with you? Because that is some crucial information to not disclose.
Yeah.
So, how do you put somebody on a show but not know these things, on a dating show and not know these things?
I do think there's a lot of women in this world who
are okay,
who are open, to a lot of things. And so I think they definitely knew, but they didn't want to stop his experience because, one, he did say he was interested in a woman, and that's what he was there for. And I feel like there was women that, they wanted, there's people that are okay. Like, those are questions they did ask. They said, are you open to certain things? Are you open to, like, somebody smoking cigarettes? Like, there was so many questions that they asked.
Gotcha.
Some people be like, okay, I can't date somebody who smokes cigarettes.
Right.
Or I can't date somebody who, I don't know, who doesn't make 6 figures. I mean, we have those conversations in our culture. But it's like, people have their limits. But I think with this show in particular, they want to give everybody an opportunity to fall in love. The main goal here is love. And I feel like, but in a different way, with a twist. Love that is blind. We should come back to love is blind.
Listen, all right, if you are tuned in on the audio podcast, we about to pay some bills, y'all, because your girl got advertisers. You can get in where you fit in also, if you're interested. Okay, so I have to ask you, though, when it came, well, not naming any names, but on this same conversation of, is it okay, is it not okay? Do you watch Insecure?
Girl,
I was about to say, if you say no, girl, we're going to cut the camera.
Who does not watch Insecure?
Hey, Issa, we can't wait to have you on the show. I just want to put that in the universe. Everybody say a quick prayer.
Yes.
Thank you. On Insecure, there is an episode where Molly is getting to know Jared.
Yes.
And they're drinking, they're having fun, they're having these conversations, and they're like, yo, what you done did? And in the middle of a laughter, Jared is like, talking about a college experience where, he had a sexual encounter with a man. And Molly instantly is not laughing anymore. Instantly is like, well, wait a minute. She wrestles with herself, right? Can I accept this? Is this a non-negotiable? What does this mean? All of the things. That was the first time that me and, like, my friend group ever, that, like, this conversation ever came up. It's never crossed my mind. I've never contemplated, this is something that I got to think about in dating. I live in Atlanta. We live in Atlanta. So during dating, the first couple questions are, are you married? Do you have kids? Are you gay? Those are, like, the first couple questions. But I never considered, like, the fact that you might not consider yourself gay, but you might have some history. Yeah. There might be some history there. What is your perspective on just that? Is it okay? Are you open to a man's sexual past?
That's a really good question. I'm open to hear and talk about it. So like how Molly, you know, she wanted to know more. And I think that's in this show, I wanted to know more. I mean, there's women out here who never dated a bisexual man. So when we have certain questions, exactly, myself included. So if we have certain questions, I feel like we're not attacking you. I feel like we're just curious. Like it's just as if the roles would switch. If a man was dating a woman and she tells him, hey, I'm bisexual, he's going to want to have some questions too.
Girl, the question's going to be, well, where the girl at? Bring her over. You know that this rule does not go two ways.
Yes, some will say, yeah, I agree. Majority of men probably would be like, well, yes, let's have a threesome. But no, another man would possibly say, okay, well, does that mean that you only want to be,
right.
you know, they're going to ask certain questions just to know where they stand in a relationship. I mean, and it's good to have these conversations. Why not? Because you learn about the person. Exactly. And that's why I feel like this could have been told sooner in the experience. I felt like if we would have discussed it, I would have asked these questions that maybe I would have felt even more comfortable and be like, okay, let's move forward.
And it might have been a different outcome.
Yeah,
and that's what I could sense from your reaction, which is why I gotta commend you one more time because I'm just thinking about it again.
Yeah, I did not want to
shut it out. And the black girl in me was like throwing stuff at the camera, throwing stuff at the TV like, yo, you dogging my girl and she didn't.
I feel as a black woman too, sometimes when we are put in like hot seats, sometimes we have to just take a deep breath. And, you know, think about listen to the person and what they're saying. Don't judge, just listen. And then you can make better decisions off of that. And I feel like my decision was based off his reaction.
Yes, agreed.
It wasn't based off him being bisexual.
Right.
It was based off like, wow, this is how you really treat me. And I'm about to walk down the aisle with you. Now, there's one thing of lying, because that's what I felt he was lying.
Omitting information in this case.
Yes, you're lying. Yeah. If you would have told me sooner, you might have had a different outcome, and we could have been married. Who knows? But because I felt and disrespect. And then it doesn't matter if you're bisexual or not, woman,
disrespect
man.
Yes.
If you disrespect me, I am going to stand up for myself, and I'm going to tell you what it is. You know, it doesn't matter who you are or what sexuality you are.
Right.
It's the disrespect, and that's what threw me over the edge.